Good evening. Welcome to the first edition of Northeast Diary in this new year, and a very happy new year to all the listeners. Brand new year gives rise to brand new hopes. It is the time to look ahead and make resolutions. Friends, in today's edition we have handpicked some very interesting stories to herald the new year on a positive note. We will go over to Nagaland, where agro-farming experience at Zuleke is bringing tourists to village farms. We will learn how in Arunachal Pradesh, an NGO named Green Squad has made it a mission to create awareness about rejuvenating rivers, cleanliness and recycling waste items. We will also talk about the steps being taken to raise awareness about the cybercrime in Meghalaya. Home to a variety of wildlife including the barking deer, civet cat, macaque and clouded leopard, Zuleke, also known for its pristine beauty, rich flora and fauna, is the ultimate destination for people looking to experience a day in the organic farms of the village. Seeing the potential of tourism growth in the village, the agro-farming experience was started for tourists to enjoy and experience the real rural life, taste the local cuisine and get familiar with the various farming tasks. More from a Kohima correspondent, Asuno.
The agro-farming experience at Zuleke has opened a way for the tourists to experience village life but also serve as a means to boost the economy of farmers in the village. The agro-farming experience at Zuleke, conceptualized and implemented by the Northeast Initiative Development Agency in collaboration with Zuleke Ecotourism Board, is one of the ecotourism activities that came up with an idea to empower the small farmers and to some extent integrate tourism activities into small farms so that there may be an alternate means of incomes for the farmers community. The initiative was started in 2018 and still in growing stage. Besides tourists visiting this village, it has also given an opportunity for school children to learn beyond classroom, and hence special packages are also offered for students to learn the importance of organic agriculture and to get to know local farms by exploring the fields. Such agro-farming activities has also helped in keeping the traditional means of farming alive and preserved while maintaining organic and environmentally friendly farming methods. Well, if any tourist is visiting Nagaland, take a trip to Zuleke to get a one-time experience of this traditional farming of the Nagas. For Northeast Diary, this is Asunyo from AIR News, Kohima.
With the advancement of technology, crimes have taken a different turn and have affected even the remotest parts of the globe. Very few people are aware of different types and forms of cybercrime. But efforts have been made by different law enforcing agencies to make sure that people are informed when some form of cybercrime affects them. Our Shillong correspondent Rustam takes a look at how this awareness has been spread.
Cybercrime Wing of the Meghalaya Police is taking various initiatives to deal with cybercrime and online digital-related crimes. In a scenario when we are living in the 21st century tech era, everything in technology world is not well enough. Therefore, to prevent cyber attacks in the wake of increasing cases over social networking and other online platforms, the CID Meghalaya Police have designed different strategies to deal with it. Nodal Officer of Cybercrime Wing Vivekanand Singh Rathore, CID branch, said that a lot of different cyber crimes like phishing frauds, lottery crimes, financial and banking frauds, and many other internet-based crimes are taking place. To prevent such cyber-related crimes, they have created multi-pronged strategies, work in tandem with different wings of the Meghalaya Police, and disseminate relevant information in the form of videos, posters, and infographics through their social media cell in different languages to various communities.
Apart from the dissemination of this information through social media handles, we also organize awareness programs, posters, and content is created in accordance with the need of the times, need of the people, in local languages also. Sometimes we share videos also. We are trying our best to tackle the situation as best as we can. Whenever you are accessing your accounts from public places like cyber cafe or any public place, don't forget to log out. Similar small things, if you are careful, you will not be cheated. Inside our cybercrime wing, we have a social media monitoring cell also, which keeps on monitoring the social media activity in the state. So I'll appeal to citizens, if you face any cybercrime, please report the matter to police so that it can be nipped in the bud. When the people are more aware, the crime rate decreases.
Fortunately, cybercrime is quite low in Meghalaya compared to other states, but most of the crimes are related to women and children, to which they give special attention. This is Rustam for Northeast Diary from AIR News, Shillong.
In 2020, COVID-19 pandemic has badly affected the education sector. In most places, the pandemic has compelled the central and the state governments to suspend schools, colleges and other educational institutions to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. In Mizoram, schools have remained shut down. However, students have been facilitated with online or digital classes so that the learning is not compromised. The state government has adopted a two-way process so that the students' learning is not badly affected. Here's a report from Aizawl correspondent Irene.
The state government allowed reopening of schools for Class 10 and Class 12 in November, but could not continue more than a week due to the spread of the virus among a few students. The government has subsequently declared to close down schools till 14 January, even for Class 10 and Class 12 students who will appear board exams in March and April of 2021. During the suspension of schools, students are undergoing online classes and also on television. Director of Mizoram Samagra Shiksha Mission, Mr. Lermatswana, said that the schools for Class 10 and Class 12 are most likely to reopen on the 15th of this month. However, reopening of schools for lower classes will depend upon the situation of the pandemic, he further said.
During the current academic session, regular classes could not be conducted. Online classes to various media was conducted since April 2020. We are planning to conduct regular classes for secondary education from January 2021. Classes for elementary education will depend on the current pandemic situation in the state. Conducting both examinations for Class 10 and Class 12 will be held along with other states. Specific dates and schedules for both exams will be declared by Mizoram Board of School Education. The Department of Education has intended to extend the current academic session by a month or two to cover the lost time due to lockdown. During this extended academic session, bridge courses will be conducted to ensure that children complete their courses in accordance with the state prescribed learning outcomes.
Officials said that the State Education Department has continued with online classes till 18 December of 2020 and has restarted the online classes from 5th of this month, which will continue up to 14 January. The principal of Springfield School of Aizawl, C. Vanal Shwaya, said that classes are conducted by teachers through online platforms on a daily basis except Saturdays and Sundays. He said the teachers and students are given a time-wise plan by the Education Department, which is strictly followed by the schools all over the state. Also, for the benefit of the students, the State Education Department has cut down the syllabus by 30% in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. The department has also instructed the Mizoram Board of School Education to prepare model questions for students of Class 10 and 12, and they will write the board exams within the next 2 or 3 months. For Northeast Diary, this is Irene from Aizawl.
The beautiful oil tea-rich city of Assam, Digboi, is home to Asia's first oil well. The Oil India Limited and the Indian Oil Corporation Limited are operating in Digboi. Our correspondent Manas Pratim Sharma has filed this report.
Just 30 kilometers away from Tinsukia, the beautiful Digboi town is one of the most after-sought tourist destinations in the entire northeast region. It is said that Digboi gets its name from the phrase "dig, boy, dig" that was told the laborers by the British as they dug for crude oil. Meanwhile, the Oil India Limited produces around 6,060 kiloliters of crude oil and 3.5 million standard cubic meter of gas per day of late. The spokesperson of the Oil India Limited, Tridib Hazarika, informed that the company operation is divided into 3 assets in the region and the company has around 300 staffs posted at Digboi. Mr. Hazarika said that the Digboi controls several critical operations of the company.
All India's operations in Assam and Arunachal Pradesh is basically divided into three assets: Western Asset, Central Asset, and Eastern Asset. Under Eastern Asset, oil has operations in the world famous oil township of Digboy. We have around close to 300 officers and employees who are posted at Digboy. From Digboy, several critical operations are controlled. For example, our crude oil production in Kumchai field in Arunachal Pradesh is overseen from Digboy. Of course, we have our people posted at Kumchai also, Arunachal. Then we have the joint venture company operating in Kharsang in Arunachal Pradesh. And Oil India has stakes in that company. One of the very important services which we are providing is transportation of the crude oil produced through barges to delivery at Digboy for Digboy refinery. This is another important activity of Digboy team of Oil India Limited. Then they also look after the gas production, another joint venture company, HOEC, in Dirok gas fields near Margarita. Moreover, the crude oil which is transported from Duliajan through pipeline and it is delivered at Digboy refinery, and of course the gas which is delivered from Digboy to Digboy refinery IOC. These are activities which are also the responsibility for our Digboy team. Moreover, around close to 40% of our productions in the highly prolific producing fields of Oil India Limited in Tinsukia district are also looked after by Eastern Asset team, most of whom are based at Digboy.
This is Manas Pratim Sharma for Northeast Diary from AR News, Digboy.
Friends, amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, the 43rd edition of Mrs. Universe 2020 went virtual this year and has been conducted successfully. The competition is one of the most prestigious beauty pageant and the final result of the contest was announced recently. Altogether, 88 participants from across the globe, including only a few representatives from India, were selected for the title of Mrs. Universe 2020 this year. Among the representatives of India is Maya Kuki from Manipur. She is the only contestant from Northeast India who has been selected to represent India in the contest. More from our Imphal correspondent, J.J. Thokchom.
The 43rd edition of the Mrs. Iowa Universe 2020 was started on the 1st of this month and the final region was announced on 25th December. The selection for participants was conducted through 3 phases and the online voting was done for the title. Among the representatives of India is Maya Kuki, a 32-year-old social activist from Manipur who got 14th position in the grand finale of the pageant. She hails from Tengnopol district of Manipur and completed Master in Literacy and the mother of 3 loving kids. It may be mentioned that Mrs. Maya Kuki was among the top 10 at Class 12 examination conducted by the Council of Higher Secondary Education Manipur in the year 2007. Indeed, it reflects the beauty with brain, the inner core of the beauty pageants held in this era. While interacting with AIR News Northeast Diary, Mrs. Maya Kuki said that the theme of the pageant is not the physical beauty but the inner attitude of a woman.
When we say beauty pageant, the first thing that comes to our mind is the physical beauty of a person. But no, it's the inner attribute of a woman, her views and ideas, how beautiful they are and how are they going to affect for the betterment of the society. What contribution she has or can put to make the world a better place to live in. What are her plans and programs towards upgrading humanity? All related to social causes. Well, the selection was done based on all this. And these are the reasons why I chose to contest in Mrs. Universe, so that I may come in contact with people galore, with influential women from across the globe, and exchange our views and ideas on social causes and release our theories into practices.
Days are gone when the beauty pageants only rely on the physical beauty of a woman. Now, educated and philanthropists have also joined the pageant, thus reflecting it as a platform for beauty with inner attitude. For AIR News Northeast Diary, J.J. Thoksom from Imphal.
In Arunachal Pradesh, an NGO named Green Squad has made it a mission to create awareness about rejuvenating rivers, cleanliness and recycling waste items. The NGO is conducting a mega recycling drive in East Siang district, which started on January 3rd this month. A report from our Itanagar correspondent Rakesh Dole.
The Green Squad NGO in East Siang district of Arunachal Pradesh is conducting a river rejuvenation program of the Pane Korong River in Pasighat, along with collecting and recycling of dry waste items. The drive will cover a distance of 5 kilometers. Under the project, members of the NGO is collecting dry waste items that are recyclable and clean the river. The NGO is also doing door-to-door collection of waste items ranging from paper, bottle, plastic to electronic waste in the Pasighat township. President of the NGO, Nikku Shah, has informed that the collection drive, which started on January 3 this month, will go till February 20, which coincides with the Statehood Day of Arunachal Pradesh.
And we are starting a rejuvenation project in Pane Korong. In this project, we are covering a distance of 5 kilometers from the source of Pane Korong, that is Dhobigat, to till Siang River, covering a distance of 5 kilometers. In between this 5 kilometers, we will put 10 to 15 screening around it, so that the waste cannot flow from here to there. The waste will be stored in a place and it will be get cleaned up by our team. Every week you can recycle with us all grades of paper. पेपर की कोई भी वस्तु, जैसे कि कैलेंडर मानिए, बुक्स मानिए, कार्टन्स मान लीजिए, कुछ भी हो, पेपर्स का हर आइटम हमारे साथ आप रिसाइकल कर सकते हैं, सिवाय टिश्यू पेपर का. टिश्यू पेपर इज द लास्ट स्टेज ऑफ पेपर विच कैन बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू कंपोस्ट विद इन 30 days और 60 days. So, वो रिसाइकल नहीं होता है. उसके अलावा कोई भी पेपर आइटम से यू कैन रिसाइकल विद अस. Along with paper, we take plastics, all grades of plastic, metal items like iron, aluminium, copper. Along with that, we also take all grades of electronics waste like LEDs. मान लीजिए आपका कोई इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स गैजेट्स खराब हो गया, लाइक लैपटॉप्स, कंप्यूटर, हेडफोन्स, स्पीकर्स, एनी माइक्स, टीवी, LED, computer, anything, you can recycle with us.
The NGO has collected quintals of waste items so far, which would have been either dumped in the river, dumping ground, or burnt, polluting the environment. This initiative of the Green Squad is also being very much appreciated and supported by the people of Pasighat Township. For Northeast Diary, this is Rakesh Dole, AR News, Itanagar.
Drug addiction is a major problem and a social menace for any state and country, as it mainly destroys the future of a section of the youth. The drug abuse and addiction for 3 decades has been destroying lakhs of youth of the northeastern region. To curb this menace, there are so many programs adopted by the central government and also the state governments of the region. With the help of centrally sponsored programs and also on its own proactive gesture to curb the menace, Tripura government has declared a war against drug menace. The state's drug de-addiction activities have also beamed a ray of life to the many distressed people. On this issue today, we will discuss some crucial aspects with the famous doctor Udayan Majumdar, who has been relentlessly working for giving new leaves of life to the addicted youth in Tripura. Let us go to Agartala correspondent Reena for a discussion with Dr. Udayan Majumdar.
Drug addiction, which leads to destruction to human life, has spread its menace in every corner of Tripura. The present state government has declared a war against the menace and the syndicate-by crackdown drive for illegal cultivation of cannabis and in other raids on smuggling. Similarly, the government is on the forefront to strengthen the de-addiction programs. The state has also mooted a proposal to open a drug de-addiction center or addiction treatment facility in all districts. And in the area of de-addiction, the state psychiatric hospital and a de-addiction center is well known for its remarkable services. In the management of the state de-addiction center and in providing the best health care to the patients, Dr. Udayan Majumdar of the center has been fighting the war from the forefront. Today, in this episode, Dr. Udayan Majumdar is with us in the discussion. Dr. Majumdar, Tripura government has declared a war against drug menace. From that point of view, what is the role of functioning of drug de-addiction centers in the state?
It's a very burning topic today in this state. And yes, addiction has been rising for last 3 to 4 years, maybe more than that. And now in last 1 to 1.5 years, some illicit addiction apart from alcohol and tobacco, these are also rising by leaps and bounds. So state government really has taken some very important steps and few projects are on its way. so that we can curb this addiction in its best, so that our young generation, especially the age group between 17 to 25 years, can be saved from this social menace.
Can you please tell whether the rate of drug addiction is increasing and what kind of drug substances are penetrating into this area?
Day by day, the severity of addiction is increasing in our state. We already know that alcohol and tobacco and also cannabis, we can say, these were present from time eternal. Apart from that, very severe illicit drugs, especially illegal drugs like heroin, brown sugar, and some stimulant drugs like yaba and amphetamine-like substances, we also call them ATS. These are also increasing in Tripura day by day. So these are the specific drugs we want to focus on, especially because the addiction of these drugs are more severe than alcohol, cannabis, and tobacco.
What are the factors that you find responsible behind the increasing trend of drug addiction among the people? And why aren't many addicted people feeling the urge to go for treatment?
That should be answered very specifically in the way that, yes, we know that our Tripura is a northeastern state, and it's in 3 areas are totally covered by international border. And also it is very near to Golden Triangle. So Myanmar, Laos and Thailand. These 3 countries are very near to us geographically, and they are mostly illicit drug producing countries. So there are a lot of drug trafficking inside northeastern region. Especially we already knew that long back Manipur, Nagaland, Mizoram was much infiltrated by these drugs. Now for last few years, Tripura is also being infiltrated very severely, and it's increasing day by day. That is one of the biggest reasons that our young generation is towards drugs in our state. Now, again, another thing is this drug trafficking is one kind of business and a very quick money-making policy. For making quick money also, youth are being diverted to this drug trafficking. And lastly, I must say that lack of control from parents, lack of control from the society, that the drug-addicted patients are not seen as a patients, rather they are seen as antisocial criminals. And it's a very wrong idea in the society. We must not see them as a criminal. We should encourage them to treatment. That is also one reason that people doesn't come for treatment and continues the drug addiction.
This drug de-addiction center is perhaps the first state-owned de-addiction facility. How is this center working, and will you tell about progress and success of the center?
We have, from September 2018, our de-addiction center was inaugurated, and we started from the very next day. And slowly, drugs addicted people, especially opioids like heroin, brown sugar, had their increasing marks in our hospital, and we encouraged them admission along with the support of family members so that they can have a treatment. Side by side, we have also opened a drug treatment clinic. This is a project of Government of India from Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. They have several drug treatment clinics across the country. In Tripura, this is the first drug treatment clinic which is situated in our hospital. The motto of opening this drug treatment clinic was to supply free of cost drugs for the patients which are already suffering from financial crisis. So, collaborating the Drug De-Addiction Center as well as the DTC, we had a very good success in treating a lot of patients. It is very encouraging to other patients as well that hearing from the patients who have already cured, they are coming for treatment along with their family members. And they are seeking admission as well, which was like 3 years back also, that this situation we even could not imagine, which is a very good sign. And we are encouraging, and patient count is day by day increasing. Nearly on OPD basis, we have completed 700 to 800 patients, while in admission, we have treated nearly 150 to 200 patients, and which were totally cured. And in drug treatment clinic, since its opening from August 2019, we have already completed seeing nearly 600 patients, which was a huge success.
To curb the addiction, presently the government is taking awareness drive among the very young people, even in remote areas, so that next generations do not fall into the trap of drug addiction. This is also learned that the addiction center will come up in all districts too. Is it so?
Only one de-addiction center is not enough to control all the drug-addicted patients which are spread over the whole state in different districts. So, Government of Tripura recently has taken a very encouraging step to open de-addiction center in every district. Almost all the districts we have psychiatrists who are the resource person for treating the drug addiction patients. And another thing is Government of India, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has already launched a project which is known as Addiction Treatment Facility or ATF. Government of Tripura has welcomed this project, and we have submitted our consent to open addiction treatment facility in every district so that we can catch up more and more drug addicted patients and supply them free of cost medicines so that they can have a clean drug-free life.
What are the challenges in your endeavor towards the service and offering the addicted people proper medical treatment?
Number one, we don't have much psychiatrists present in our state, and we don't have that much of medical officers which are trained in treating drug addicted patients. A very nice thing is that recently Government of Tripura has nominated 2 specialist doctors, including myself. 2 of us will train medical officers across the state to treat and identify drug addicted patients in district level. That is a good step we have taken. And number 2 is lack of family support. That is a very big problem which are hindering this drug addicted patients treatment. Patients, caregivers cannot really understand that this is a disease. They are seeing it as a moral breakdown of a patient. They can see that it's an antisocial criminal person. They don't come for regular follow-up. As well, this is a big issue in the society that rather than encouraging them for treatment, in many areas these drug addicted patients are identified and get beaten and then sent to the jail without getting them treated. Of course, state government is trying their level best for making awareness in every district and every areas which are infested by drug addicted patients so that they are more and more encouraged for treatment.
The White Memorial Hall of the White Hall in Gangtok stands with a unique British architectural identity amidst buildings of the Tibetan style, including the Palace of Chogyal Kings of Sikkim near Mintok Gang. It stands as a reminder of the British Raj and its role on the Tibetan frontier. A Sikkim correspondent has filed this report.
The White Hall in Gangtok was built in 1932 in the memory of first British political officer posted to the then Himalayan kingdom of Sikkim, John Cloud White. White was an engineer with no political training or diplomatic experience who remained in Sikkim for nearly 20 years. He is remembered for having established an administration along with a simple form of law and justice. He built roads, bridges and bungalows, the first school and hospital. He also encouraged industrious Nepali settlers to move to the scarcely populated southern area of Sikkim, which is believed to have contributed to agricultural development of the region. Historian and author Dr. Rajan Upadhyay speak about the building's significance.
The White Hall in Gangtok was constructed in the memory of John Cloud White, the first British political officer to the erstwhile Himalayan kingdom of Sikkim. An engineer by profession, John Cloud White was appointed as the first British political officer to the kingdom of Sikkim in the year 1889 and had enjoyed the same position for almost 19 years in the kingdom of Sikkim. Apart from a political persona, John C. White is also known for his photography in the Himalayas, especially in the kingdom of Tibet, Bhutan, and Sikkim. The White Hall in Gangtok was constructed in 1932, is a two-storied building that manifests a real British architecture. As per the administrative reports of 1930-31, the construction of this memorial was started in the very same year, that is 1930-31, which was during the political officership of Frederick Williamson, another significant British political officer who served Sikkim at the same position and capacity for 3 occasions, and the construction of this structure was completed in the year 1932. The White Hall is situated on the highest point within Gangtok on the western hillock of the Sikkimese Royal Palace.
Today, the White Memorial Hall is the main office of the Sikkim Sports and Youth Affairs Department and houses facilities for martial art like wushu, kickboxing, boxing, weightlifting, taekwondo and table tennis. It is also one of the key tourist attractions in Gangtok. With Saikat Sarkar, this is Diliram Dulal for Northeast Diary from AIR News Sikkim.
And before we end, here are some interesting facts about the Northeast. The Tawang Monastery in Arunachal Pradesh is the largest monastery in India and the second largest in the world. And India's longest river bridge, the Dhola Sadia Bridge, connects Arunachal Pradesh with Assam. So with that, we have come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear more stories from this enchanting part of India. Bye-bye.